Hello everyone and welcome to Caroline's Craft Tree. Today I just wanted to give you a little tutorial on how I made these denim pockets. So they have a pocket here behind the ticket, and then there is also a pocket there. So you can use them or not, or hide something in there. So just a little, like I say, a little tutorial on how I made these in case you would like to make them. They're made out of old jeans and they are paper clips. So I've used tickets from some of my digital kits on these. I've got a few different tickets, but there's the flower ones and the dragonfly ones. And there's also butterfly ones. And there is some other ones. There's birds, and I've got some Christmas ones, some Halloween tickets, etc. You could use any small image. You could use teacards, which I have some digital kits of those in my shop as well. So let's go ahead and get started on this. A few things: glue, ruler. I've got my 2 pieces of cardboard for the back, some thread, of course a paper clip, a couple pieces of lace, a ticket. I've used Adia cloth, which I like using. Number 1, I have lots of it, and number 2, it frays really good. So, and then just a piece of denim. Now you could do these any size you wanted. I kind of made them to fit my ticket sets. So the denim piece is roughly 2.25 inches by 4.5 inches. And I've frayed the edges, so just because it likes that. And I'm not too worried about the size being evenly frayed or whatever, and how much you fray is totally up to you. The Adia cloth I've cut a little bit bigger than whatever picture I'm going to use. So that gives you an idea. So that's going to vary depending on, like I say, the picture that you're going to use. The smaller lace is going to be for the lace at the top. And this wider piece is the strip there. And again, the lace will depend on how big your piece of denim is. So let's get started. And I will show you how I put these together. And of course, there's probably lots of different ways to put these together. So in saving time, I've kind of cut everything to size, just to make it easier on putting it together. So my first step is I take my picture and I'm going to cover the back totally with glue. And I'm going to put it on top of the Adia cloth. I like to make sure it's centered. That's just me. And I always turn it over and I press the back. Okay, so that is glued down. So step number 1. Now the next step is I will sew, and you don't have to sew. You could staple it, you could just leave it the way it is, sew it on your machine. I sew mine by hand, which you can see. That will focus. You can see my stitching at the very top and at the bottom. It's just to give it a little something extra. Now, because I don't like to sew through wet glue, I have one here that I've already stitched. So hopefully you can see that. So I will use that next. Because there is a pocket behind this, when I glue it on, I only want to glue it top and bottom. But first I glue this wide piece of lace to the back of my Aida cloth. And I'm going to try and center it. So I'm just going to run 2 strips of glue about the thickness of my lace. Now you can use thin lace, thick lace. You don't even have to use lace. You could use a little piece of fabric. You could use anything you wanted. I'm just going to lay that on top. And the reason I glue this down is because when I'm slipping something behind here, I want to hopefully not catch that lace. If you're sewing by machine, you could do at this point and then stitch it right onto your denim. But because I sew it by hand, I like to do it beforehand. Okay, so then we have that stage. Then I will take a little bit of glue and just run it over the end, each end of this here. Not sure, you should be able to see the glue on there. Now I'm going to put that in the middle of my denim. Just hold that down for a second so that the glue can catch. Normally I will do, like 10, 12, even more of these. So I will do each stage. Then the glue dries a little bit between each stage. So now we have this stage. And we've got our spot behind. So now we'll go to the back side. Make sure that's glued down good. And we are going to put one piece of cardboard here and then the other one with the paper clip on top of it. Now I've already distressed mine, and even though this one that I put on here is going to be covered up with the other piece, I like to distress it because then if there's a little bit that's sticking out, you can't notice it very much. So now an important thing to remember with this piece is I only want to glue the top and the bottom because there is that little pocket back there. So let's run some glue along the top and the bottom. And this was just scrap cardstock type stuff. Okay, now let's put this on here. And the size of this piece of cardboard will depend on the size of your fabric. This happens to be a little bit narrower than some of the ones that I do. On my finished one, the cardstock on the back was 2 by 4 inches. Okay, so that is done, and we've got that unattached, so we get that space in there. So now let's find out which side is the top. So we've got our top going this way. Let's put our paper clip on. And I usually put the bigger side of my paper clip, I usually put it on the back side because this is quite a large paperclip embellishment. So let's glue this on. I like to put a little bit of glue there and then slide my paperclip down over it. Now I want to leave my paperclips sticking up a ways because I want to attach my lace to the paperclip. So once, and it's about 1/4 of an inch, I guess. Yeah, about 1/4 of an inch sticking up from the end of my paper. Make sure it's relatively straight. So now I want to put glue all over the back side of this piece of cardboard or cardstock. Put a little bit of glue on the back side of my paper clip. Now let's make sure we've got the right way. Yep. Top is down here. So now I'm going to put this on top of the other cardstock and try to get it relatively even. And then I'm going to press it down a bunch. Sorry if the camera moves while I'm doing this. And then I'm going to pick it up and make sure that it's all glued down really good. And this here, you can see right there along this edge how that didn't line up with the other cardstock. But by inking that other piece, you don't really notice it. Okay, so that is glued down. Now I take my piece of little lace and I'm going to put that through the paper clip. You could use string, you could use ribbon, you could use anything for this. And then I'm just going to push the ends through the loop. And then I'm going to pull it up. And there we go. Finished just like that. So that gives you a good idea of how to make them. And as I say, there is a pocket here. And it does get stuck on that lace a little bit. Either that or I've glued it down because yeah, it's glued down a little bit because I put them together a little bit too soon, but we can fix that. There we go. So you've got your pocket there, and then you've got the pocket behind. And then it just will slip on the top of your page, paper, on your envelope, anywhere that you would like. So now you know what to do with those old jeans you have laying around. I'll leave some links to the tickets in my shop in case you would like to use them. But as I say, any little picture will do. And a little bit, you don't have to use the Adia cloth. You could use cheesecloth. You could use any kind of fabric for underneath your ticket and any kind of lace for underneath it. I really like them. They're cute. They would go with just about any journal. And of course you could do them themed just by whatever you put on the front. So I hope you'll enjoy this tutorial and I hope you will make some. I would love to see what you made and just enjoy. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.